ask each and every San Juanenyo kung naramdaman ba nila ang pagbabago under our makabagong San Juan administration. At siguro, sila lang makakasagot niyan. Gusto ba natin itong pagpatuloy? Gusto ba natin bumalik sa dati? At kung gusto nyong bumalik sa dati, di ba? Ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung nagagawa natin ngayon, hindi ito ang ating nagugustuhan, di ba? So, and ang tanong nga dyan, yung mga dati na gusto maging mayor muli, kung sakali, no? Bakit di nyo ginawa dati yan?
Thought-provoking conversations with the people shaping our country. We uncover stories behind the headlines with influential voices from the Philippines and beyond. This is Manila Bulletin's The Sit Down.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Sit Down. I'm Patrick Eli Garcia, Senior News Reporter for the Manila Bulletin.
And this is Philip Coonhing, columnist at the Manila Bulletin.
Joining with us today is Metro Manila Council President, League of Cities of the Philippines National President, and San Juan City Mayor Francis Zamora. Mayor Francis, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Patrick and Philip. And of course, thank you very much to the Manila Bulletin for having me in this feature.
So, Mayor, first of all, we would like to congratulate you on your re-election as the MMC President and being the National League of Cities of the Philippines National President. First of all po, I'm curious, paano nyo po nababalance yung obligations and responsibilities nyo as the Mayor of San Juan and as the head of those policy-making bodies?
Well, actually, this question also applies to how I balance my responsibilities with my family duties as well. It's really about prioritization and time management. So I believe it's a skill that I've been able to master for many, many years already, because aside from all our official responsibilities, I'm also able to always be with my family, and I never miss any major moment in their lives. So again, it's about prioritization and time management.
In fact, that prioritization was very much witnessed yesterday when you watched your son playing varsity basketball in the Sal Green Hills, right? That's Noah.
Yes, actually, Philip, again, talking about duties as San Juan City Mayor, so I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a lot of groundwork, meaning I visit our barangays, I meet with our city officials, barangay officials, SK officials, I attend events, I attend inaugurations, groundbreaking ceremonies, fiestas, and of course other socials such as birthday celebrations, wakes, baptisms, weddings. I have to inspect our current infrastructure projects. I have to go around the city to ensure peace and order. I have to have meetings with our local school board and our city schools division superintendent and public school students and teachers. So I really have a lot of responsibilities as San Juan City Mayor, and of course as Metro Manila Council President. We have MMC meetings regularly, and aside from meetings, I coordinate directly with the MMDA Chairman Don Ortez and even with our Metro Manila mayors if they have any issues and concerns. Now, with regard to being National President of the League of Cities of the Philippines, we also have regular General Assemblies. We have island cluster conferences, such as the one that I will be attending this November in the Negros Island region. And something that I'm basically experiencing now is the issues and concerns of my fellow city mayors from all over the country. Every now and then they would call me, they would consult me and seek further advice. So it's really multitasking to the max. But if I may say, I'm able to balance all of these. And during the 2022 to 2025 term of the Regional Peace and Order Council, I was also chairman. So just in case I will be again reappointed by the President as RPOC chairman for the National Capital Region, then that may be another responsibility that I will have to handle, which again, my load can actually handle it because it's basically balancing. It's basically, again, prioritization and time management.
Maybe not many people are aware, no? With the case of the Metro Manila Council, they meet regularly with the MMDA and the DILG, no? And it's a policy-making body. Flooding, traffic, solid waste management, year on year, these issues don't seem to go away, no? And the flooding traffic don't seem to recognize municipal borders. From your wealth of experience, what do you feel would be the solution or one course of action to be taken to try to ameliorate some of these problems?
Well, yes, the Metro Manila Council is a policy-making body of the MMDA. So just like in a city government, for the mayor to be able to execute projects and programs, it has to be approved by the city council. So in the same manner, the Metro Manila Council will have to approve the proposed projects and programs of the MMDA. And yes, we have to tackle the issues of flooding, traffic, solid waste management. So let's take on them one by one. Regarding flooding, it is my dream, of course, as San Juan City Mayor and as Metro Manila Council President, that the day will come that we will be really able to mitigate flooding in Metro Manila. And everyone knows now the issues surrounding flood control. And I'm really hoping that all of these will get resolved, because if there are funds allocated for flood control, they must be used properly. Because in the end, this is what will happen to us. We will continue to face the problem of flooding. And let me reiterate, it's not just about flood control. There are so many other issues concerning flooding. Of course, one is yung pagtatapon ng basura sa ating mga ilog, sa ating mga creeks na talaga naman pong nakikita natin. So again, it is a very complex problem. It's not just flood control per se, but you have to be very disciplined as a citizen. Please do not throw your trash into our waterways, because at the end of the day, all of these will accumulate. And once the waters rise due to heavy rains, this is what we will experience. As you have seen in most inspections in waterways, you will really see a lot of garbage. So, kailangan talaga maging disiplinado tayo at huwag magtapon ng basura sa mga daluyan ng tubig. Kasi kung ano mang mga improvements ang gagawin natin, na even if we improve our drainage systems, if people will continue to throw trash into them, then we will really continue to experience flooding. And another concern really is the existing drainage systems. Some of them, structures have been erected on top of these said waterways and drainage systems. So we really have to conduct an audit of all existing drainage systems. And if we will have to relocate some families that are currently living on drainage systems, which basically cause the blockage of the flow of water, then we will really have to do that. For instance, here in San Juan, I've identified one area which always gets flooded, and this is Barangay San Perfecto. Alam po ng mga taga Barangay San Perfecto yan. Konting ulan lang talaga nagbabahana. At na-determine po natin na meron po kasing ilang mga tahanan na naitayo on top of our drainage system. So, kinausap na po natin ng families na to. In fact, we will be relocating them in city very soon. At once we're able to do that, we will have to remove their structures that are really blocking the flow of water. So, this may be happening in many other areas in Metro Manila. So, it is something that I believe I and our fellow Metro Manila mayor should look into. Basically, is to conduct an audit of all existing drainage systems, see if all of these are still functioning, see if all of these are actually still working, and if there are structures blocking these drainage systems, we will really have to clear them.
So, Mayor, yung regarding your position as the MMC President, meron na po ba kayong natakel na specific move on how to address the so-called ghost projects? And yung issue po on the lack of coordination between the DPWH and the local government units?
Okay, first of all, I'm proud to say, dito po sa lungsod ng San Juan, walang multo.
Yan.
So, wala pong ghost projects po dito at all our flood control projects are fully implemented. In fact, all our pumping stations are operational. So, 100% functioning ang lahat ng pumping stations natin. At meron tayong mga retaining wall at mga slope protection. Kaso lang ito yung parati kong sinasabi, no? It doesn't mean na just because 100% implemented ang flood control projects mo, it doesn't mean hindi na magbabaha because there are other factors that contribute to flooding, such as those I mentioned earlier. Pero alam nyo, itong mga investigations ngayon, ako'y nagpapasalamat na nangyayari na ito because kailangan natin malaman paano ba umabot sa ganito. Diba? Ang mga proyektong ito. No? We are seeing ghost projects. We are seeing substandard projects. No? At dapat lang naman po talagang may imbestigahan ng mga ito. And you were asking me earlier how to ensure na hindi ito mangyari. Well, alam nyo, yung DPWH po kasi, honestly, no, beyond our scope yan. No? As LGUs, ang meron lang tayong authority ay within yung local government units natin. Ang DPWH, let's talk about DPWH since yun naman po ang talagang nakafocus ang tao ngayon. Ano? Yan ay isang national government department. At ang budgeting niyan ay through the national government. Ang implementation niyan, meaning ang bidding, ang procurement, lahat yan national government. Anong role ng LGUs? Kami ay nagsasabi sa kanila, ano ba mga kailangan namin? No? So for instance, again, I will talk about San Juan because ito yung jurisdiction ko. No? Pag meron pong kailangang pumping station, pag may kailangang drainage improvement, pag may kailangan na slope protection, sinasabi natin sa DPWH. No? At in fairness sa DPWH, here in San Juan, no, yung nakakasakop sa San Juan, merong proper coordination. But based on what my other fellow mayors have told me, hindi po all the time merong proper coordination. So sila na mismo nagsabi sa akin na sa kanilang mga lungsod ay nangyayari yung binanggit nga ni Pangulong Marcos na walang coordination, walang approval, bigla na lang maghuhukay, bigla na lang may tinatayo. And malaking concern yan sa ating mga city mayors. That's why when the President about 2 weeks ago issued a directive that the DPWH must seek the approval first of the LGUs before they start any infrastructure project, malaking bagay sa amin yan. Kasi nga, minsan po, no, yung mga kapwa mayors natin, pakaramdam nila, dahil DPWH yan, dahil national government yan, ay wala silang magawa. No? At we have heard a couple of our fellow Metro Manila mayors actually complain about what's happening in their cities. So nakita naman natin sa news yan at napanood nga natin at base sa kanilang mga sinasabi, hindi nga talaga nagko-coordinate. So I believe that this new directive of the President will help solve this. And why is it important? No? Mahalaga na makipag-ugnayan ng DPWH sa mga LGUs dahil unang-una, kami po nakakaalam ano bang kailangan namin sa aming lungsod. No? Yes, may pondo kayo. Pero saan nyo gagamitin yung pondong yan? Yung itatayo ninyo, kailangan ba namin yan?
Yeah.
Kailangan ba ng aming mga mamamayan yan? Saan kalye ninyo itatayo yan? Kami nakakaalam sapagkat ito ang aming nasasakupan. No? So, if they will implement projects without consulting the LGUs, how will they know where best to set up a pumping station? How will they know where best to improve the drainage systems? How will they know where best to install slope protection? So, dapat mag-uusap ang LGUs at ang DPWH, masasabi namin sa kanila, dito dapat ilagay yan. Ito yung lowest point ng barangay namin. Alam na namin yan because, for instance, ako po, all my life, I've lived here in San Juan. All 47 years of my life. So, alam ko na lahat ng pangangailangan ng aking lungsod. So, yan ang essence ng coordination and approval. And also, you cannot just start excavating or building something without coordinating with the LGU. Paano kung yung lupang hinukay ninyo, gagamitin pala ng LGU for another project, di ba? Pero biglang naghukay na lang kayo dyan, di ba? Yun naman ang nagiging concern ng ibang mayors. And again, I'm not saying this is happening all the time, but what I'm saying is mayors have told me that it is indeed happening in their cities. So sana nga ho ay ma-resolve na ito agad para kung meron mang gagawing proyekto ang DPWH at merong coordination at approval ng mayors, automatically involved na kami dyan. Kasi dumaan na sa amin eh. Meaning, mamamonitor namin, alam namin, magkano bang halaga ng itatayo nyo? Makakatulong ba talaga yan sa aming mga mamamayan? Will it really address the concerns of that particular barangay? So, yan ang importance po niya.
So, aside from that, Mayor, yung nabanggit nga ninyo yung continuous dredging, yung San Juan River, cleanup operations and everything. Aside from those, meron po ba kayo naiisip na paraan para ma-prevent po yung pagtatapon ng, yung improper waste disposal ng mga tao sa San Juan?
Okay. Before I answer that question, I would like to emphasize that the San Juan River is 9.8 kilometers long, but the portion of San Juan that covers the San Juan River is only 2 kilometers. So, maraming ibang cities ang dinadaanan din ng San Juan River. Bakit ko ito sinasabi? Because it has to really be something that will be coordinated with other cities as well. Kasi hindi pwedeng yung San Juan side lang ang merong ginagawa. No? So ito naman po ay bagay na nakikipag-ugnayan na tayo with our fellow mayors also about. So in fact, during our last Metro Manila Council caucus, no, hindi pa meeting, no, binahagi ko nga ron yung objective ko na taasan yung fines pagdating sa pagtatapon ng basura. No? And people should not react to this negatively. Hindi nila dapat sabihin, naku, Mayor, ang taas naman ng multa.
Yeah.
Bakit ka natatakot? Magtatapon ka ba ng basura? Diba? I mean, sasabihin nila, Mayor, ang taas naman ng multa. Pero kaya nga multa yan eh. Kaya nga yan penalty kasi meron kang ginawang hindi mo dapat gawin. At kung masyadong mababa ang penalty,
Tuloy-tuloy lang po.
Yeah.
what will deter them from throwing garbage into our waterways? So, ako po, no, I've already spoken to my city council. Our existing fines for throwing trash improperly is at 3,000 pesos. So, pinataasan ko na po yan to 5,000 pesos. The maximum allowable fine under the local government code. No? So, ano kasi yan eh, sinaset ng local government code yung maximum amount ng fines and penalties. No? So, 5,000 pesos ang maximum. So, sabi ko, itaas na natin all the way sa maximum amount. At sa lahat po ng nanonood na nakikinig, huwag kayong magagalit, huwag kayong matatakot kasi ang mapapenalize yung magtatapon lang naman ng basura. So,
Exactly.
kung ayaw nyo mapenalize, huwag kayo magtapon ng basura. At kung di tayo magtatapon ng basura, magiging malinis ang ating mga ilog at creek. At pag maging malinis ang ating ilog at creek, makakatulong yan upang mabawasan ang problema ng pagbabaha. So, it will be discussed during our next Metro Manila Council meeting. At we will try to standardize the fines and penalties for throwing garbage into waterways, or even not just waterways, yung maling waste disposal in general, no? Regardless kung ilog yan, creek yan, kalye, drainage, no? Basta hindi ka nagtapon ng basura sa tamang lugar, ay dapat merong mataas na penalty. And I remember clearly when I was in grade school, the first time I went to Singapore. This is something I will never forget. Parang naalala ko talaga. Nakita ko yung mga signage sa mga kalye na pag magtapon ka ng basura, sobrang laki ng multa. To the point na hindi ka talaga magtatapon ng basura kasi nga, ang taas ng fines. Diba? So, again, kailangan talaga madisiplina ang ating mga mamamayan pagdating dito.
That would have been even the time when even chewing gum was being penalized heavily, di ba? If you threw chewing gum or
Correct,
something in
yes.
Singapore,
Correct.
you were caned or something.
So we really have to discipline our people. No? We have to make sure that people follow. Ano naman to eh? Para naman to sa kabutihan natin lahat, di ba? Now, of course, ayaw naman nating mag-penalize dahil lang gusto nating magbayad sila ng multa. No? The penalties are meant to discipline people for them not to throw garbage into our waterways.
So, from water, dun naman po tayo sa land. Okay. So, let's talk about the traffic situation in Metro Manila po, Mayor. So, dito po sa San Juan, how is the traffic situation here?
Well, alam niyo, matraffic talaga. All over Metro Manila and magsisinungaling naman ako kung sabihin ko.
Endomingo, no? The Endomingo.
Hindi matraffic, ano.
Yeah,
Talaga
Ortigas.
namang talagang matraffic po ang buong Metro Manila at iba-ibang challenges per city, no? Because iba-ibang demographics natin. For instance, here in San Juan, let's talk about Ortigas Avenue. No? Ortigas Avenue is our main thoroughfare. Meron po tayong malalaking mga paaralan na nandyan po sa Ortigas Avenue. Even sa side po ng Mandaluyong, meron pong isang malaking paaralan na sabay-sabay pumapasok sa umaga, sabay-sabay nag-uwian sa hapon. And ang San Juan po kasi nasa gitna ng Metro Manila and being located centrally in the National Capital Region, ang dami po nating mabuhay lanes dito. So marami sa mga vehicles that you see are basically passing through. Kasi nga, we are geographically in the center of Metro Manila, so maraming dumadaan sa aming mga kalye because napakarami nating mabuhay lanes. No? So these are our challenges because our roads are not too big. No? Maliit na lungsod lang ang San Juan. If you have passed through the inner roads, no? Lalo na yung mga shortcuts natin, makikita nyo malilit lang talaga ating mga kalye. So iba naman po ang situation sa ibang cities. Some are heavily commercialized. No? Meron tayong mga cities na mga main business districts ng ating bansa. Meron naman tayong ibang cities na mas industrial in nature. No? Meron naman tayong ibang cities na mas heavy sila when it comes to mga hotels. No? So, iba-iba talaga ang situation natin. So, if you ask me, ano ba yung mga bagay na pwede natin gawin? One, ito ang pinag-uusapan ngayon regarding street parking. No? So, if I may share, in 2019, in fact, just about 3 weeks into my first term as mayor, tinanggal ko po lahat ng street pay parking sa buong lungsod. No? And if you would remember, kung napupunta na kayo ng Green Hills Shopping Center dati, yung mga kalye na Club Filipino Avenue, yung Annapolis, Eisenhower, Missouri, Connecticut, yan, dati pinapayagan niya ng previous administration ng street parking. At in spite of the fact na mabuhay lanes yan, dapat nga mabuhay lanes, no parking at all. Oo, dati, meron talagang street pay parking, which tinanggal ko 3 weeks into my first term. And we have sustained that up to now. 6 years and about 3 months already into my being mayor, sustained yan na wala pa ring street parking sa area na to. Same with the area of Xavier and Ika. Dati, pinapayagan yung mga sasakyan mag-park dyan sa kalye, naniningil pa ng bayad. Bawal na nga, naniningil pa. So, up to now, wala pa rin street pay parking dyan. So, we have been consistent in terms of sustaining yung pagbabawal nga ng street parking. But something that we have to also face is hindi rin pwedeng total parking ban in all streets because the question is, saan nyo naman ipapark yung mga existing vehicles na? Kaya ang ginagawa natin dito sa San Juan is Absolutely no parking sa ating mga mabuhay lanes, absolutely no parking sa ating mga major thoroughfares, but in inner barangay roads na hindi naman masyadong dinadaanan ng mga sasakyan, nag-implement tayo ng one-side parking or parking during certain times of the day only. So, yun po ang naging proposal natin sa MMDA at sa DALG. I remember about a month ago, Secretary John Vicrimulya met with the Metro Manila Council to discuss how we can ban parking in our streets, in our cities. No? So at ang binanggit din nga ng mga mayors ay magiging napakahirap ng total parking ban. No? So let us consider the roads, the streets na hindi naman talaga masyadong ginagamit. Yung kahit paradahan mo, makakadaan pa rin ng fire truck. Hindi siya magiging obstruction sa flow ng vehicles. No? Regardless if this is an ambulance, a police car, or a regular vehicle, basta hindi siya makaka-impede sa traffic flow, then dapat magamit natin ito as parking areas. And also, something that we're implementing here in San Juan, yung mga vacant lots. In-encourage natin yung mga owners of vacant lots to convert these idle land into parking facilities. No? So, ano yan, win-win situation yan kasi instead of these properties being idle, useless, di ba? Ay kung ito ay convert into parking facilities, number one, nakakatulong ka na sa community. Number two, ay income generating pa yan sa property owners. Diba? So, ito ay bagay na ginagawa natin. We highly encourage all property owners, no, yung mga may-ari ng mga vacant lots, to convert their idle land into parking facilities. So, ito, pwede rin magawa yan sa iba't ibang mga lungsod natin. So, ito yung iilan sa mga pwede nating gawin. Of course, yung existing na coding, yan naman ay, ang objective niyan is to reduce the volume of vehicles that go around our streets daily. And of course, we have seen the good effects of yung Skyway, yung NLEX connector. No? So, umaasa nga ako pagdating ng panahon na matapos na yung ating subway system at ganoon din, no? Yung mga railways na dinidevelop within the area of Metro Manila, yung magko-connect to the nearby provinces. No? Pag itong mga infrastructure nito ay matapos, no? Umaasa tayo na makakatulong nga ito na makapag-resolve sa problema ng traffic because what we need is more opportunities to bypass EDSA.
Mayor Francis, since kayo po ang nag-introduce ng single ticketing system during your tenure as the Metro Manila Council President, first term, ano po ba yung, how can you assess its effectiveness today?
Okay, malaking bagay yung single ticketing system because prior to the passage of the Metro Manila Traffic Code, yung 20 common traffic violations in Metro Manila, iba-ibang fines. So minsan kapag mag-violate ka sa San Juan versus mag-violate ka sa Mandaluyong or sa Makati, no? Minsan merong mga drivers na magtataka, bakit iba-iba yung amount ng fines? No? So basically we standardized all the fines for the 20 common traffic violations, and more importantly, bawal i-confiscate ang lisensya mo. So dati yung mga drivers, di ba, pag nahuhuli sila, i-confiscate yung lisensya, tutubusin mo pa yan sa City Hall. Pupunta ka pa ron, magbabayad ka para lang kunin yan. No? So, sa totoo lang, malaking abala. What if you are a driver from Ilocos and you're just passing through Metro Manila, di ba? Alangan naman, bumiyahe ka pa pabalik para lang tubusin yung lisensya mo. So, yung single ticketing system, design siya in such a way na standardized na ang fines para sa 20 common traffic violations. Next, hindi na confiscate ang lisensya mo. And binibigyan natin ng options yung mga violators to pay through the handheld devices. So you can pay through credit card, you can pay through digital payment platforms. And you will not have to go to City Hall anymore just to pay your fines on the spot. Pwede mo nang bayaran yan. So, malaking bagay siya kasi na-penalize mo na yung driver dahil nga sa kanyang traffic violation. At the same time, hindi rin naman siya naabala. No? So, since standard na nga ang mga fines and penalties across Metro Manila, wala nang magiging confusion because, even if I ask you now, do you actually know the exact boundary of San Juan and Mandaluyong, of San Juan and Quezon City, of San Juan and Manila, di ba? Not everyone knows. Di ba? Akala natin nasa Mandaluyong ba tayo, nasa San Juan na pala, or vice versa. So, since standard na nga yung mga fines natin, ay kahit saan ka sa Metro Manila mahuli, parehas ang bayad. So again, in the same manner, parang kanina nga po, kung dahil mataas nga ang fines sa pagtatapon ng basura, kung ayaw natin magbayad ng penalty sa traffic violation, wag tayo mag-violate ng traffic rules and regulations. This is something that I always reiterate. No? Every time narinig ko, ang taas naman ng multa. Yung magmumulta lang naman, yung mag-violate. Kung ayaw mo magmulta, wag ka mag-violate. Diba? Yung iba, gusto kasi mag-violate, nagko-complain, ang taas daw ng multa. Diba? Dapat ang mindset natin, wag tayo mag-violate, period. Diba?
If we can move on, Mayor, the makabagong San Juan Pambansang Pabahay Phase 1, that's 34 stories and
Yes.
over 1,000 member beneficiaries potentially. Yes. It's a project of the Social Housing Finance Corporation with the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development.
Yes.
How do you ensure this doesn't become like the Bliss projects of decades ago or like the favelas in Brazil in terms of property management and maintenance of certain standards on hygiene and
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the DSUD, of course, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development. I would like to thank SHAFC, the Social Housing Finance Corporation, and I would like to thank Pag-ibig because through their help, we will now be able to implement our 4PH program here in San Juan, something that I have promised to our people. Malaking bagay ang pabahay kasi kung magtanong ka, any city, show of hands, gaano karami sa inyo ang merong sarili nyong tahanan? Gaano karami sa inyo ang umuupa lang? Majority will always say, kami umuupa. Pero yung upang yan, hindi naman yan partial payment. Nagiging expense siya because bayad ka ng bayad ng upa, pero hindi naman magiging sa'yo yung binabayaran mo. Diba? The difference now with the 4PH program, rent to own siya. So magbabayad ka for 25 to 30 years depending on yung capacity mo to pay. Magbabayad ka, pero basically partial payment siya. It's not rental expense, partial payment siya. So at the end of the day, magiging sa'yo yan. At dahil nagbabayad ka, dahil sa'yo yan, mas mamahalin mo yan kasi sa'yo yan eh. And again, your question, paano maalagaan? Meron tayong evaluation ng mga beneficiaries. Number one, they have to qualify based on the guidelines that will be given by DSUD, by SHAFC, and by Pag-ibig. So, hindi po ang city ang nag-evaluate dyan, ang Pag-ibig, ang DSUD and SHAFC through their guidelines. May nagpa-facilitate kami ng mga applicants, but at the end of the day, makakwalify ba sila sa guidelines ng Pag-ibig? Because, you have to be a Pag-ibig member to qualify kasi yung take-out, so to speak, yung pinaka pangbayad sa mga units na yan ay manggagaling sa Pag-ibig. So, yung process of evaluating those who are applying, dumadaan yan sa mga guidelines set by them. At it's really important that kung sino yung mga magka-qualify ay magbuo ng isang maayos at responsableng homeowners association para maging disiplinado nga yung ating mga owners, no, ng mga units na to. And the difference here is, of course, since high-rise siya, merong elevators, no? Meron din tayo kasi mga amenities, no, within these facilities. So, pag magtanong ka ng isang ordinaryong mamamayan, no, nagbabayad naman siya ng renta kung saan man siya umuupa ngayon. Di ba? Yung expense na yon, hindi na siya magiging expense basically. Hulog na siya. At dahil alam mong yung hinuhulugan mo magiging sayo, di ba? Mas mamahalin mo yan. Kasi pinaghirapan mo yung hinuhulog mo dyan eh.
But San Juan will have some kind of oversight, no? In terms of like who are the residents who are qualified. For example, they have to be San Juan residents.
Yes, because the program is for San Juan.
Yeah.
No? So, pasensya na po kung kayo po taga-ibang city. No?
Sana your city has its own.
Pasensya na po. No? We have to really prioritize
Yeah.
the people of San Juan. And
Yeah.
why 34 stories? Because San Juan is only 5.94 square kilometers. Napakaliit ng aming lungsod. At napakakonti ng aming LGU-owned properties. So to maximize all our remaining properties, kinakailangan vertical development tayo. In fact, the original design was for 30 stories but nasagad nila to 34 stories. So nadagdagan pa siya ng 4 stories dun sa final design. And we're very, very much excited for this. This is actually our second housing building. Kasi yung first natin, ito yung 22 stories naman na high-rise in-city socialized public housing that we started together with my father, then Congressman Juan Zamora, and that we are now completing through the help of my sister, Congresswoman Bel Zamora. Ito naman yung 22-story high-rise in-city socialized public housing building natin. This is not under the 4PH program. Ito ay DPWH funded. Kasi nung nasimulan itong proyektong ito, wala pang 4PH program. So, we are just finalizing the guidelines also for this. And we will somehow align the guidelines to the 4PH program para hindi magkaroon ng anumang confusion pagdating sa how to avail, how to pay. So we're still studying it because iba nga yung source of funds niya. Hindi siya through Pag-ibig, hindi siya through SHAFC and DSUD. So we're trying our best to align the process in terms of applying.
And this 34-story, what projected turnover would be when?
Well, because the SHAFC has already approved the funding, we're looking at conservatively 30 months, 30 to 36 months. But sabi ko nga, best na matapos siya before I end my term.
I was also counting the 30 months.
No, because we have to ensure that whatever guidelines are in place now, yun yung masusunod. Kasi again, I will end my term by June 30, 2028. So we are targeting, of course, na matapos yan before I end my term. Just to ensure na walang maging problema, because again, hindi na ako mayor after that. So beyond my control na yon. So just to ensure stability in terms of the implementation of the 4PH program, dapat matapos siya before that.
So Mayor, one of San Juan's biggest achievements, or led by your administration, is making San Juan the very first drug-cleared city in the Philippines, or in Metro Manila. In Metro Manila.
Metro Manila.
So, can you share some specific efforts or initiatives that your administration did para po ma-achieve yun?
Okay. Well, ito, ikakwento ko sa inyo. Very hands-on ako as a mayor. Very hands-on ako as a person. At yung pagiging hands-on, malaking bagay. Lalo na kung mayor ka. Kasi ikaw yung inaasahan ng lahat. From peace and order to anti-drug programs to the economy, public health, public education, traffic. So lahat yan talagang responsibility mo. And itong anti-drug campaign natin, talagang very active ako. Sumasama ako sa ating San Juan Police, sumasama ako sa ating PIDEA. At yung pagsamang yan sends a strong signal to the drug syndicates na dito sa San Juan, seryoso kami sa aming laban sa droga. When people see that you're serious, mas sila, kumbaga, sige, maghanap na lang tayo ng ibang city. Wag na lang sa San Juan. Kasi, kumbaga, alam nila yung mayor seryoso. No? And malaking bagay yan because once people see that you're serious about yung sa anti-drug abuse programs, sa peace and order programs, na-appreciate nila yan eh. And ano ang naging effect sa atin? No? Dahil tayo ang first city in Metro Manila na 100% ng barangays ay drug-cleared na, and after sustaining this for 2 years, naging drug-cleared city na tayo, meron niyang direct effect sa crime volume. So tayo rin ang city with the lowest crime volume in Metro Manila, and because of that, maraming nag-invest sa ating city, maraming gusto bumili ng properties, maraming gusto dito tumira. So, tumataas din yung property values, tumataas yung investments, nagbo-boom yung economy. So, everything is correlated. And this is what we are experiencing now. Everyone wants to buy a piece of property in San Juan. Kaya sobrang taas ngayon ng property values. And look at Green Hills Mall. Sobrang nag-level up na yung Green Hills Mall natin because even yung mga owners ng mall sinasabi sa akin, Mayor, we're so happy here in San Juan. Ang ganda ng business environment, ang local government unit, very supportive, tahimik, ang baba ng crime volume. So, all the positives binabanggit nila. And ako, I really attend as much as I can yung mga ribbon cuttings, mga opening ng mga business because, again, it's my way of showing the business sector that the mayor is very supportive. So, putting all of these together, yung initiatives natin against drug abuse, yung initiatives natin sa peace and order, yung pagiging business-friendly natin. So, yan ang naging effect. No? At ako, I always believe, kung di naman masaya ang San Juan sa pamamalakad natin, hindi naman ako marireelect as mayor. No? So, it is a manifestation of the trust of the people of San Juan in our administration.
So, Mayor, looking back at your achievements since 2019, and satisfied po ba kayo na with all your efforts and initiatives in making your dream of a makabagong San Juan? Like, satisfied po ba kayo sa mga nagawa nyo?
Well, ang personal mission ko is by June 30, 2028, talagang makikita ng tao na, wow, ibang-iba na ang San Juan ngayon. Ito na yung makabagong San Juan legacy na pinaglalaban natin. And when you ask me, am I satisfied? Not yet. Kasi itong last term natin ang magiging completion ng lahat ng yan. No? And if I may share, ano ang mga tatapusin natin sa ating last term? Of course, yan, nabanggit na natin yung ating mga 4PH buildings. No? So, now that the first 4PH building is being constructed already, I'm now finalizing the second building. No? So, meron tayong target kasi na number of buildings na may tayo under the 4PH program. Next, sinisimulan na rin ang ating makabagong San Juan Sports Center. Magkakaroon po yan ng isang 25-meter 5-lane swimming pool. Magkakaroon yan ng facilities for various sports. Magkakaroon yan ng mixed martial arts studios, physical fitness gym, boxing ring, badminton court, pickleball court,
you had to add
table
the pickleball.
tennis. I had to add pickleball. Marami naghahanap ng pickleball.
It has to be there
So,
po talaga. No?
meron, of course, our basketball and volleyball stadium, may indoor jogging track. So yan, ginagawa na po yan. Next, we're also constructing now our Makabagong San Juan Local Government Center. So this will basically be a City Hall annex kasi hindi na kasya lahat ng offices and departments dito sa aming existing City Hall. So it is basically going to be an annex. Yan ay sinisimula na rin. Natapos na yung ating makabagong San Juan National Government Center. So if you've seen it, it is really a world-class facility. It has an 800-plus seater theater. At the whole second floor is the Bagong Pilipinas Gov Servicio Hub. So, sorry, naano ko rin. So, yung the entire second floor, we have dedicated for the Bagong Pilipinas Servicio Hub. So, ito yung ating one-stop shop for essential national government services. No? So, nandito ngayon yung mga mahalagang departamento ng pamahalang nasyonal para pag meron tayong kailangan, hindi lang yung mga San Juanenyo, also everyone from Metro Manila and nearby provinces, they can come here and avail of various essential services from our national government agencies. So, kasalukuyan din natin tinatapos ang ating Eastern Police District Headquarters, which will also serve as the new headquarters of the San Juan Police and the San Juan Bureau of Fire Protection. Tayo ay magtatayo rin ng ating San Juan Crematorium and Columbarium. So for the first time, we will have our own facilities for this. Because right now, pag merong pumabanaw, we spend about 30,000 pesos to help our constituents for burial services and a separate 30,000 pesos for cremation. So instead of the city spending this much by paying service providers, mas mabuting meron na lang sarili tayo. At yung area na to will be in our existing San Juan Cemetery. So it will have various chapels, it will have the crematorium and the columbarium. So pwede magkaroon ng burol dito. After a few days, kaya-cremate sila. After ng cremation, doon na rin sila ihimlay. So malaking tulong yan because sobrang mura ng kinakailangang ilaan dito compared to having to contract service providers. So also, we have just completed our refleeting of barangay and city government vehicles. So nagagamit na po yan ng ating mga mamamayan, yung ating mga bagong mga sasakyan to basically improve government service delivery. And we are currently also setting up our full command center. So magkakaroon na tayo ng mga CCTV sa ating mga major roads na namomonitor yan ng ating command center. So ang dami pa nating tatapusin. No? So if you ask me, am I satisfied? Not yet. No? My objective really is to finish all of these projects by June 30, 2028 kasi yun yung timeline ko eh. Sa totoo lang, nagugulat nga ako na wow, I'm on my third term already. Parang kailan lang yung day one ko as mayor. Parang kailan lang yung COVID pandemic. That was only 9 months into my first term. Same with the green and sausage shaking crisis. 9 months into my first term. So, ngayon, ano na pala ako? Entering year 7 na. No?
Yeah. But I polled several of your constituents, and they were really saddened by the fact that it is your third term. And so they were asking actually, and they wanted me to pose it to you. I mean, in terms of continuity, because but that's something that's important for certain policies to go on. Are there plans, for example, for Bell or even drafting, enlisting PAMI from the gig to come in and to continue your policies and be the next mayor of San Juan?
Well, honestly, right now, I'm focused on finishing my third term very strong. Ito yung nasa mind ko ngayon eh. And ano ba ang gusto kong ipabot sa ating mga mamamayan? So to the people of San Juan, I know a lot of people have been asking who will be the next mayor. Ito ang sagot ko sa inyo. Kung sino man yung magiging next mayor natin, basta susundan niya yung ating makabagong San Juan governance framework. Something that we have established, something that works, something that people have seen and have experienced. No? Nakita naman natin, no? Ang ating makabagong San Juan. And what I ask people is this: masaya ba kayo sa makabagong San Juan? Nakaranas ba kayo ng pagbabago? Nararanasan ba natin ngayon yung hindi natin nararanasan dati? No? And if you believe in our makabagong San Juan administration, if you will support a candidate that will continue the makabagong San Juan governance framework, then even after my 3 terms as mayor, San Juan will still run the same way. Kasi susundan niya yung framework na to eh. Diba? So dapat pumili tayo ng magpapatuloy ng makabagong San Juan. Kasi kung hindi niya papagpatuloy ito, then babalik ba tayo sa dati? You know, the options naman here in San Juan are basically continuity, or do you go back to the past? No? So it's your choice. No? And again, kung masaya nga kayo sa pagbabagong nararanasan natin, pagpatuloy natin. Kung sa tingin ninyong hindi naging maganda ang makabagong San Juan at gusto ninyong bumalik sa dati, that's also your choice. No? So basically, that's my answer. And that's why I'm focusing on finishing strong. Kasi yung pagtatapos nga natin ng mga proyekto at programang ito yung magbibigay ng momentum entering 2028. Now when people see, talaga, ang ganda nga yung makabagong San Juan. No? Hindi pa natin napag-usapan yung public education natin. Imagine, all our public school students, kanya-kanyang tablets sila. No? Meron silang mga tablets na nagagamit. Meron silang fiber optic internet connection sa kanilang classroom. Meron silang 55-inch smart TV sa kanilang classroom. Meron silang fiber optic internet connection sa kanilang bahay. Meron silang libreng school and PE uniforms. Meron silang libreng customized rubber shoes. Meron silang emergency go bags. That is why the PSA has acknowledged and has given recognition to San Juan for being number 1 in functional literacy rate amongst all highly urbanized cities in the Philippines. Number 1 ang San Juan. Ibig sabihin, 9.5 out of every 10 San Juaneños can read, write, compute, comprehend, reason out. Kaya ganito ako.
And so they should realize what makabagong San Juan means,
yes.
di ba?
And look at all the aspects of makabagong San Juan, from infrastructure, yung ating public schools, ang mga basketball courts, kahoy. Ang ating barangay basketball courts, kahoy. No, we are using maple wood, the same wood used sa Araneta Coliseum, sa Mall of Asia Arena. Isipin mo, yung public schools namin, yun ang kahoy. Yung barangay courts namin, yun ang kahoy. So, ask each and every San Juaneño kung naramdaman ba nila ang pagbabago under our makabagong San Juan administration. At siguro, sila lang makakasagot niyan. Gusto ba natin itong pagpatuloy? Gusto ba natin bumalik sa dati? At kung gusto nyong bumalik sa dati, di ba? Ibig sabihin, kung ano man yung nagagawa natin ngayon, hindi ito ang ating nagugustuhan, di ba? So, and ang tanong nga dyan, yung mga dati na gusto maging mayor muli, kung sakali, no? Bakit di nyo ginawa dati yan? You had 50 years to do all of these things, di ba? Bakit di nyo ginawa dati? Di ba? You had 5 decades, di ba? You had half a century. Tama ba? Well, wait, sorry na-miss out ko na. 1 century is 100 years, di ba?
Yeah.
Oh, see,
Yeah,
half a
so 50
century,
years,
tama.
50 years na. 50 years na. Yeah.
They had half a century already. Ito tayo, 6 years and 3 months pa lang, di ba? Pero ito na to. Kaya nga, yung remaining 2 years and 9 months natin, really, I'm focused on finishing everything para absolutely makita ng tao ano ba ang kaibahan ng makabagong San Juan.
So, for the last question, Mayor, if you're going to have your own version of the sit-down, who would you like to interview or have a guest?
Yung answer ko ba kailangan buhay or pwedeng nasa history books na natin?
Pwedeng dead or alive po.
Sige, I would like to interview Andres Bonifacio. Bakit? No? Kasi okay, ang San Juan ay mahalaga sa ating kasaysayan. No? Andres Bonifacio and the Katipuneros attacked the El Deposito here in San Juan, August 30, 1896. Maraming Katipunerong namatay sa tinatawag nating Battle of Pinaglabanan. Ngunit ito ang nagsilbing hudyat sa mas malakihang pakikipaglaban na tuloy ang nagbigay ng kalayaan sa bansang Pilipinas. So, if I were to have a sit-down such as what we're having now, I would like to interview Andres Bonifacio and find out ano ba yung nasa isip nila, nasa damdamin nila nung panahon yon, diba? Ano ba yung mga struggles talaga ng mga Pilipino sa ilalim ng mga Kastila at ano yung nagtulak sa kanila na talagang ibuwis ang kanilang buhay para makamit ang kalayaan. Kasi what we know really is what we read in the history books. But if we could have Andres Bonifacio here and hear the answers straight from him, no, that would be wow.
Great answer. Great answer.
Right, so thank you so much for that answer, Mayor Francis. And that concludes this episode of The Sit Down. Please join us again next time as we continue to bring you the people and stories you need to know. Thank you.